Hello and welcome to Setons. This is a classic game from 2011, so 3599. As you can tell by the name, some regulars. This is probably one of the better Setons. Very nice matchups between Dim and TCC, both playing as Aeon. I expect lots of shields, of course. 2011, no mixing rules in effect. Also Aeon Bulkhead versus Aeon Sith. So two very good ASF players together with and having probably to give Dim a slight advantage over GCC. Rock to Beach, you probably give Sith a slight advantage over Balk. And of course here we also have Mize versus McFly. McFly playing Rock. Mize playing as EF. It looks like this was the time when really soon after naval mixing and people played Aeon a lot. So we see a whole bunch of Aeon all over the place, and in the middle Mega coming into the middle, and I think I remember this. This is when Mega had his crazy build and he would keep on killing people. He would ask for a little bit of power though, so this is the point defense, the double point defense plus a whole bunch of arty. I believe he was doing this with Seraphim as well. But his victim is a Cybern, Carlitos. Cybern to the middle is just suicidal, and it's going to be really bad with these point defenses right in his face. So all this mass is going to be claimed by Mega. He's got an engineer, very much safe. He's got two engineers actually. It's very aggressive, but it's very good for the team. You can see a more power generator from DCT was given over to Mega. I'll see some scouts here from Mice. And the island between McFly and Mize not taken by either player. McFly still just working on the transport. Up top we see that Dim has taken over his island. Doesn't look like DCC even bothered. He was just upgrading this whole time. And in the middle, Mega continues to hit Carlitos. Carlitos retreating. Carlitos has a pretty nice team, and here comes some ghettos from Dim. Putting a bunch of flares on a transport. Now they're going to take out the point defense from above, and tables have really been turned on Mega. Mega having to retreat. Plenty of Manta here, and Carlitos is going to pick up whatever is left of the mass. It's not going to be much. He's just over 3,000, while Mega is already at almost 12,000. So successful operation by Mega, although he's going to have a lot of problems. We just saw those two ghettos being dropped off at Mega's base. It's going to kill all the engineers. So all the NGs are dead, and looks like a whole bunch of flak too, so it took a little while to kill all those flares. So all kinds of bad problems happening to Mega, but he did get his team a whole bunch of mass, and you can tell by the scores. DCC with that much mass here at minute 7, just getting into the water, making some submarines. Otherwise he's already at 5. I think 2 mass extractions, actually not that good, but upgrading this whole time. Meanwhile, as expected, Mega getting ran over. Just a little too much from Dim there against Mega. And looks like that base was passed first to Sith, then to DCC, and now to McFly. McFly is going to hold down middle and is going to take on Mice. Mice getting into the water with some Tech 1 Navy. See a whole bunch of Tech 1 Navy from McFly also. Looks like a land factory, a couple air factories. And DCC moving out with some Tech 1 submarines. Dim just getting into the water, so much earlier Navy from DCC than Dim. Although Dim not having some air problems, could be in danger of getting bombed. See a lot of build capacity here for Dim. 4 factories, some anti-air. Meanwhile, we see this base that Mr. White just got, or sorry, McFly. He's pushing straight through the middle. 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 He's pushing straight through the mi Cement that air, and now these engineers are going to try to get a torpedo launcher going, but the submarine most likely won't let that happen. We see more engineers for Dim going into the water. He might also have the option for Tech to Air. Tech to Air would be really nice, and of course here it is. Tech to Engineer should see some torpedo bombers coming out. Although it looks like just making the torpedo launcher was enough for Dim. Kill off the Tech 1 submarine. Looking at Sith base, looks like Sith decided to put the factory away from the starting position. Getting resource allocation here, middle 11. 5 Tech 2 power generators. Bach working on his 5th. A more orthodox position right next to the Hydra. The middle is taken over by McFly, but Walls and Tech 2 for Carlitos. And Carlitos now for the most part teching. He does have Tech 2 making hoplites. We see a whole bunch of Tech 1 Navy from Mize. McFly being quite slow, it seems. A lot more Navy for Mize. Now Mize going Tech 2. Multiple Tech 2 factories making destroyers. Then beginning Tech 2 construction plus a Tech 1 factory. Tech 2 Navy for GCC. Here we are at minute 13. GCC. Looks like also getting resource allocation. Just a Tech 2 spam. That's a Tech 2 factory that's making frigates and destroyers, and we should see shields shortly. Don't see them yet. Don't see them yet from Dim either. Meanwhile, a very nice attack here from Mize, coming in with a superior Tech 1. Sees a couple Tech 2 ships for McFly. He'll be able to take care of this problem, unless actually Mize moves in, starts moving around his frigates, because these can dodge these really slow shots from Aeon. Instead they're just sitting there. Plus some shields coming in, a little disorganized from Mize. Shields and destroyers. Of course that shield is going to be wasted. But the frigates for Mize so far are using their numbers. Should be able to win this. Air is completely dominated by Sith. See Bach moving in, and this could be a mistake. You also see a whole bunch of air from Dim. Some Dim and Bach in this position. And here comes the Tech 2 versus Tech 2, and the shields. Earlier shields from UEF really making a big difference. McFly losing all those destroyers. It's a total domination by Mize, and McFly trying to get some Tech 2 going. He really needs to get the shields. Two ASF's ASF forces really getting close together here. In terms of eco, though, Sith way ahead. Some mobile shields in the middle for McFly. He's likely going to try to get these to his navy that he's going to make. Trying to make a destroyer, but that's not likely to survive. Unless, of course, Mize decides not to attack. Now McFly's main base. Trying to get some shields to protect these. Meanwhile, we're seeing pretty large Tech 2 forts from DCC rolling through the top, as well as Strat bombers from Sith. Dim has a whole bunch of destroyers of his own. It looks like the Strat bombers are going to go against Dim's factory here. Actually, I'm not really sure what they did, but they flew over a cruiser. Okay, so that was the cruiser. That did not look like a very efficient piece of bombing. And here's the first ASF battle. Bach versus Sith. That was some crazy things that just happened. Looks like Bach won that one at the end. That was not expected. That's very big for Dim. Dim now making the Tech 2 shields extremely quickly. And he really needs those. You can see the 2 AN forces. Really a bubble competition. A lot of flak here for DCC as well. The Sith losing that battle still comes back in. Meanwhile, we're seeing all these torpedo bombers from McFly running into some ASF. And together with it, oh, this is nice. Whole bunch of tanks made on McFly's base. DC retreats, pauses his shields. Now Strat bombers, or actually Tech 2 bombers, attacking McFly. My switching to Tech 2 air. That's pretty disrespectful there from Mice. McFly's gonna try to come in to get this Navy to go away, but McFly now in actual real danger of dying. Trying to run, sitting under some mobile shields. Whole bunch of destroyers, but hitting the shields. Surprisingly that Sith doesn't get involved in this. Perhaps afraid of the cruisers. We are seeing bulk in the area. Perhaps another push from DCC. He's got, yeah, both these players got a ridiculous amount of shields. Looks like the shields are down, plus some torpedo bombers. And these Tech 1 force wiping out a nice chunk of McFly's base. One thing to note, McFly still has middle, and actually making a GC in the middle. This could be, well, he's actually got a pretty decent Navy now, which is inexcusable for Mize. He was attacking the main base, but he left the whole naval production. He might actually pay the price for this. Actually, he's been doing that. On the other ocean, we got a very close battle, and we're seeing a whole bunch of Riptides. It's hard to tell, but these are from DCC. DCC sending in Riptides to sabotage the shields, and that's working out very nicely. Dim could be in quite a bit of trouble producing shields out of two different factories. And it appears that DC is going to get a victory here on top. Meanwhile, we got another ASF battle, Balk versus Sith, and this time it looks like Sith is going to take it quite easily, fighting over cruisers. A lot of kills on these cruisers. Meanwhile, Mize is going to put an end to this naval production. Also Tech 2 bombers attacking McFly's island. And Sith, right after winning the air battle, actually is going to go directly into Balk's base or over Dim's base, just to make sure there aren't any funny comebacks. But you're not going to come back when you're having to kill all these overlapping shields. It's pretty ridiculous from DCC, and Strat bombers coming in now, getting intercepted by a Balk. 2 mask extractors taken out. It's pretty good stuff from Balk, actually. More Strat bombers from Sith. And Dimla getting hit from the Navy and from the air. Meanwhile, Sith cleans up the air. Seeing a lot of ASF from Tech 3 anti-air from Dim. He's also just finished a nuke. Minute 27. In the middle there is that GC that McFly has made, but Carlito's making a megalith. Actually, this one player we haven't seen for a long time. Carlitos, he does have a mega, but he's lost most of his base. The Strat bombers from Sith trying to make this one uneven, but looks like the GC, after getting 76 kills, a lot of Carlito's base is going to be killed. Now drops from GCC, completely running Dim over. Dim making point defense and Tech 3 shields. That's against the blazes and shields. And now some drops from GCC. Actually, Carlito's base in quite a bit of trouble. This is one of the reasons Carlitos moved back so much from this naval assault from GCC. And now these cruisers are going to be very deadly. Can reach very deep, and here comes a GC from McFly. Is going to try to force these units back. A drop here from Mice. It looks like the island is going to be taken over by Mice. The Spider dies against the GC. GC under pretty heavy assault. Megalith versus Navy. Mega getting hit quite hard. The Aeon Destroyer is very good against big targets. The Mega is actually going to die. Yet another battle that Sith wins quite easily. We're now also seeing ASF and actually nuke. A nuke from Bulk. This is another player I haven't really seen in a little while. He's got 3 Tech 3 anti-air factory, couple Tech 3 power, and just launched a nuke here, minute 32. Should also expect a nuke from Dim shortly. This nuke's flying past the middle. McFly thinking about moving, perhaps. See Sith sitting on 2 Tech 3 air factories. The Sith has no anti-nukes, and just started one in this area. Not really sure if that was the best position for a nuke, but whatever was there is gone. There was some mass extractors there. Here comes another nuke. This one's from Dim. And here come a whole bunch of gunships from DCC. Gonna attack Dim's ACU. And here come the SF from Balk to clean that up. DC is gonna take this fight. Sith is gonna move in as well. Once Sith gets there, it's gonna be pretty one-sided. Although this is not one place that you'd want to fly your ASF. A lot of anti-air from Dim. It looks like that nuke from Dim, it looks like it was defended. See this anti-nuke here, perhaps. McFly completely defeated. Now we're seeing Mice switching over to attacking mid. Yet another GC nearly done for McFly. Another Megalith nearly done for Carlitos. More engineers dropped off to pick up some wrecks. It's a nice wreck, and it's a 20 kill GC from McFly playing defense. Sith once again dominating air. flying over quite a few cruisers. Yet another nuke now from Dim. Dim and a couple nuke launchers. Perhaps once against DCC, but DCC had this anti-nuke for a while now. But here comes a Spider from Carlitos. If this Spider can take out this anti-nuke, I think it's going to be slightly late. That would have been ridiculous timing. That would have been awesome timing, but it doesn't look like it happened. We saw that nuke just fire off. And Mercy's coming in from Sith. This is going to force the Spider back into the water with 34. Now it looks like Dim was finally killed. We see Strat bombers from DCC. It was under heavy assault from actually some Tech 3 Navy missile ship from DCC. So both sides completely dominate in an ocean. Bulk continues to nuke. Actually, losing Dim was a very big loss. Looks like he wasn't able to give off all of his units, or any units at all. But he had some really good ones. So there's a lot of mass here. Balk trying to get a factory to get engineers to reclaim this. Meanwhile, a pretty nice flak force followed up by engineers from GCC. DC is going to reclaim Dim's base all to himself. Balk has to do something about it. And actually a very nice nuke against DCC. That was an excellent nuke. So all those nukes depleted the anti-nukes of DCC. Those 3 nukes launched at him. The third one makes impact. Another megalith here for Carlitos. GC from McFly rolling through the middle, getting hit by Tech 2 bombers. Yet another GC. And a fatty being constructed by Mize. So Mize and Balk in heavy defense together with Carlitos actually. So it is a 3v3. Back spot's pretty much whole. Mid's been run over quite a bit. Beach is in complete control. Although this island used to belong to Mize, now getting taken back by some gunships from McFly. On the other side, really Rock is the only big Rock and Beach. And DCC rebuilding on Dim's Rock, which means DC is going to have a lot of mass. Looking at his eco, he's reclaimed 48,000. He's got 20,000 in the bank, plus 25,000 in terms of power. Sith has 30,000 in the bank, plus 13,000 power, and reclaimed only 16,000. So a lot of excess mass on the top side. Here come restorers from Sith. Mize pretty big air spam. Sitting by a fatty, he's got a lot of Tech 3 anti-air. Well, let's see what happens with these restorers. See the restorers going after Balk directly against the ACU. Balk getting shields built very quickly. He's got a Tech 3 ACU together with a whole bunch of anti-air and actually able to kill those restorers. Restorers now going after Carlitos. And the snipe attempt, so a whole bunch of bombers just missed. Carlitos is in a lot of trouble trying to get under a shield, standing next to a Tech 3 power generator. It's not a good place to stand, and looks like it was very close. But Carlitos gets taken out by some very aggressive air from Sith, it seems. There was also multiple missile ships from GCC putting pressure on all these shields. And that's one big difference between the domination by Mize here in the Navy and the Aeon domination. With the missile ships, they can reach much deeper. Yet another nuke from Balk. We're seeing TMD versus cruise missiles. And TMD doing a pretty good job. This nuke is going toward McFly. And it looks like McFly decided not to move. And this game is now once again a 2v2. While Sith continues to dominate air. GC coming in from GCC. We're going toward Bog's base. Not sure if Bog sees that, but he needs his GC for defense as soon as possible. He has one next to his ACE. He needs to move that down. Mai's going Tech 3 Navy. Spider going through the middle from Bog. And this GC from Bog a little late. Looks like DCC is going to get pretty deep. And a strat attempt trying to kill this GC. A whole bunch of strat bombers from GCC. In this situation, going straight to Mercies, just having Mercies fly from the factories into the GC is the best way to go. Unless, of course, you got ASF really close to you. This is a sneaky spider here from Balk. That was the last nuke by that launcher before it got killed by the GC. This GC is going to pay with its life. Let's see what this nuke hits. But meanwhile, this spider got really close. Got taken out by Mercies, a whole bunch of Mercies from Sith. So Sith knowing exactly what to do. Experimentals with no air cover are Mercies, and they die very quickly. Another GC from Balk. Balk moving back engineers to start rebuilding. See these missile ships. Huge volleys, they really overwhelm defense. Restorers from Sith going after Mai's Navy, and looks like one thing we gotta remember, this is 3599. Restorers in 3599 were very good. It's very surprising that Sith actually using us. Yeah, one thing to note, Sith really using their restorers to win this game. I mean, for the most part it was DCC. But now these restorers completely cancelling out Mize's naval victory. See a whole bunch of torpedo bombers from Balk. That's a possible snipe against DCC. Couple strat bombers for DCC. Looks like multiple donuts. He's going for 3 donuts. GCs for Sith. Yeah, so we can see Balk is really hoping there's somebody in that ocean. Sith at unit cap. This is a very nice radar here for GCC. Basically getting all this recon. Shouldn't be able to be seen by the radar that Sith has in her base. And now we got one of the donuts. Is going to be attacked. Very quickly dies. Meanwhile, a whole bunch of GCs. 5 versus 2. And another ASF battle. None of the 5 GCs die. Fatty's in the position as well. More GCs for Balk plus a Megalith. Couple more donuts. Yeah, when you have this type of stuff coming in against you, game's pretty much over. Now these GCs should clean up this base nicely. Mars is now the only one with a base on this side. Balk still has some nuclear launchers. Anti-nuke with 4 missiles for Sith. And that looks like it was the obvious. Looks like GCC quit first, but this game was basically over. You can see all the donuts moving in. Most likely it was some players on like Balk and Mize just threw in the towel when they saw the donut. So hopefully people enjoyed this one.